You're on the search for your new home and obviously you want to find a good deal. So whether you're a real estate agent or you're looking for yourself, I'm going to take you through my process and show you all the things that I look for when I'm trying to find a really good deal. My name is Frank Kritzman, former Air Force EOD, now realtor and team leader on the beautiful Emerald Coast of Florida. Let's get right into it. All right, so we got Crestview pulled up here, and the very first thing we're going to do is go up to this little tab right here, the Other Listings tab. So we're going to click over to that, and this is where we would find any for sale by owners. There have not been a ton of for sale by owners around here, but if there are any in the area, they'll be in here. So let's just pop one open. Okay, so we're looking at this one. Let's see. Okay, so it's empty. Looks like it was maybe just a flip or something. Newly renovated, tons of TLC. Okay, so one thing I want to show you real quick is take a look at this 6 days and these 349 views right here. So for a home at the 245 price point, which is very low for this area, that is an extraordinarily low amount of views compared to what an agent listing would get here on Zillow. And I'm just going to flip that over and show you real quick. So, okay, so that was 245. Let's just quickly do this price. So we're just going to go 10 up and 10 down. All right, here's a perfect example right here. This one's 2 days on and has almost the same amount of views as this house right here. Okay, 6 days, almost the same views. Moral of the story is these houses that are for sale by owner, they get less views. That's just the reality of the situation. Because they get less views, they get less money for the properties. It's basic economics, it's basic marketing. So there's less people going to look at those properties. That means there's less competition. So if your buyer does want a for sale by owner home, there's nothing to worry about there. Just go and talk to the for sale by owners. I found a lot of times they're willing to work with agents if you're bringing them a buyer. I've ended up listing a lot of for sale by owners because I work with them as well. All right, so that's the first thing you do to find a good deal. Let me reset all this. The second thing that we're going to be looking for when we're trying to find a really good deal for our buyers is cell phone pictures or just really, really bad pictures in general. So let's take a look at, oh my goodness. All right, take a look at this. We hit the jackpot. Let's go. Okay, look at these pictures. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so now I want you to just for a second humor me on this house and just kind of think, put yourself in your buyer's shoes, right? Do they want to go see this house? Probably not. But if you think about it, there's probably not a lot of other buyers that want to go see that property either. Try to do your best to look through the terrible photos, right? And this is what we want. We want to find a house that has really bad photos because there's just going to be less people who want to go see them, because it's not attractive. This is just basic rules of selling anything. This is just marketing 101. So if you have bad pictures on here, less people are going to want to see the house. Less people seeing the house is less competition, less offers, lower price. That's just how it works. So when you're looking at these bad pictures, just try to see through them, right? Try to look through the grainy sidewaysness of these pictures. Does this house meet my buyer's criteria? Even though it's not fancy, and there's a good chance that you're probably going to have to do some convincing to actually get them to go and take a look at this. Here's another one. I can tell from the cover photo that these are going to be cell phone pictures as well. So let's just do a quick scroll through of these and see what we got. Okay. This is kind of another little side note thing for other things that we're looking at. Not really one of the main factors, but is definitely a bonus when you're going to think about writing an offer. This house is empty. What does that mean? That means no one's living there. Genius, right? What that means is the sellers have already gone, they're already moved on, they're in their new place, and they are now paying 2 mortgages. Someone who is still all the way living in their house might be in a little bit less of a rush to sell than someone who's already moved out and been moved out for who knows how long. This one's been on the market for 98 days, and when they moved out, the house was empty. So you gotta start thinking about from the perspective of the seller, how much in a rush are they to get this property under contract? Usually that means they're more open to a deal. This house is actually quite beautiful and has a lot of nice features, but it's just not represented well at all. But I just want you to think about that. How many people clicked on here and got through the first couple photos and they said, no, that place is ugly, right? Never even got to the end that's showing all these niceties Granted, showing them not in the greatest way, but this house has a lot of nice features. They're just not represented well. So if you're going out to show a couple properties and they say, it doesn't really look that nice in the pictures, just ask them to humor you and, see if you can convince them to add it onto the end of your showing list. Try to get a bonus in there. Oh, Lord. Live, laugh, lobotomy. Okay. Inside of that house aside, look at the outside. It's a very beautiful home. Very, very handsome. I know I'm just beating a dead horse here, but this is where the deals are lying right now because nobody's going to see these houses. Now for the last thing that we're going to look for. Very easy. It's just in the sorting. So you want to go by sorting, click it over to newest, and you want to scroll all the way down. Now I want to look at some of these. Okay, this is a beautiful house right here. All right, so taking a look at this house. Very nice, very elegant. It's actually a cool house. Pictures are okay. I believe these to be cell phone oh wow. I believe these to be cell phone pictures, but fine. We've seen worse today. All right, this house has been on the market for 168 days and has about 350 views. Okay, so it looks good. It's a great looking house, but been on the market for a little while. Okay, so here's one. House looks good. Photos are good. Okay, right? Solid pictures and everything. On the market for 121 days. Empty. Not a lot of views. Okay, views are very low. That's what you want to be looking for to find these deals. That's where the good deals are lying. The good deals are lying in the for sale by owners, in cell phone pictures, and houses that have been sitting on the market for an unusually long amount of time. Just because they've been sitting for a while, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with them, which tends to be people's first response. Oh, that house has been on the market for 90 days. What's wrong with it? Might be nothing, might just be the price. I've found that price seems to fix every problem. We are no longer in the market of a year ago when literally you just put up a house and it goes under contract in 15 minutes. You actually have to market houses correctly to get them to sell, and you have to price them accordingly. Otherwise, they won't get views, and they won't get showings, and they won't get offers. Now's the time for lowball offers. It's great because in most markets, there's a lot of houses for sale. You can put out a low offer. The worst thing they're going to say is no. You submit that offer, maybe they submit a counter, and you guys work together with the other agent and see if some kind of middle ground could be reached where both parties are happy. If you can't find that middle ground, just move on to the next property. You got to be thinking about it from the seller's perspective, okay? How long has that house been up for? How bad do they want to get it under contract? And when you go to sell your house or you're selling a house for somebody else, make sure you don't put your sellers in that same exact situation. Price it right, make sure it's marketed correctly and gets a lot of attention and gets under contract as soon as possible. Not only is that going to be the most convenient outcome, but it still keeps your sellers in the position of leverage, which is what you want. If this video was helpful for you, make sure you press thumbs up. And if you send a house to one of your buyers and they want to go see it, make sure you watch this video on how to show a house like a boss.